What's up, guys? So today I'm going to be doing a discussion on a topic inspired by this confession on my university's confessions page. So what this is anonymous students can post confessions on the page, and people on Facebook can reply to them. And so this confession is about this girl. I'm just going to read it out to you. Will you ever approach a girl in the weight room? I feel like I'm there pretty often and I see a lot of attractive guys, but never have the courage to go up to them / don't want to disturb their set while they're, quote, in the zone, unquote. And that ends in the confession. And first off, therein lies one of the biggest, I wouldn't say problems, but obstacles in modern society, which is the fact that the venue in itself, and unfortunately, as you'll see by a lot of these replies to this confession, there's this mentality going around that's like, I'm there to work out, so I'm not there to hit on girls. Because of the venue, the environment is not receptive to that sort of social interaction, which I think is just BS, and I think that sort of cultural mentality should be broken. But I mean, it's surprising how many people have this sort of mentality out there, and it's sort of like, well, what would be the best situation to approach a girl then? A lot of girls will say something like, oh, in the coffee shop or in the bookstore, and then they just give you these WTF looks when you actually do it in one of those situations. And then it's like, okay, so you go to a bookstore to read books, nothing else. You go to a coffee shop to drink coffee. You go to a grocery store to, buy produce. So therefore, the only venue where you go there to be approached is a bar or nightclub, and these sort of venues are sort of middle or lower class, and they imply certain characteristics about the person who goes to these venues, and a lot of these grimy things, which sort of, prevents a lot of people from wanting to go out to these venues, thus preventing them from finding any real way of meeting people. And so obviously it's not like it's like the end of the world. There's plenty of other stuff you can do, but again, I really feel like breaking this sort of horrendous mentality of, oh, I don't want to be approached, or I don't want to approach people at the gym because they're there to work out. Like, sure, it is true, but some people would love it, and as long as you're not one of those arrogant people who constantly get harassed every day by approaches, like, if you are, then yeah, it makes sense. Like, sure, you have to gauge it by the person. Like, if she looks like she's in the zone, then you don't want to approach, or if she or he looks like he gets harassed a lot by approaches and wouldn't like an approach, sure. But I feel like the mentality, the majority of people, I feel like, why are you complaining so much that you wouldn't enjoy someone complimenting you and saying something nice about you? Anyhow, that's enough of a rant for me. Let's go ahead and read a few of these, or paraphrase a few of these replies to this confession. There's about more than a dozen. So first off, I replied myself saying that, you know what, this warmed my heart because I've done it before, and it's just good to know that there are people out there who, especially girls out there, who actually don't mind this. And it opens my eyes to a point that girls are very shy, and they rarely will initiate the first approach unless you're super handsome or something like that. Anyhow, let's paraphrase a few of these replies. This comes from a guy. He says, no, I would never approach a girl in the weight room. What's a guy to do? Motion you to take off your headphones. Hey, I couldn't help but notice I'm attracted to your form-fitting workout clothes. Can I buy you a protein shake? It's just freaking awkward. Occasionally, if the situation calls for it, I might make a quick joke or smile. I wish someone could say hi, but it just feels so out of place to flirt with a girl in the gym. That being said, I don't know where else I'm going to find a hot girl to sit on my lap while I bench. So this guy speaks a bit of truth. You know, he does have a bit of a negative mentality, but honestly, you know, it is sort of out of place to go over the top at these sort of venues. In any venue, actually, even at a bar or nightclub or wherever, it's just too much for the girl. And from experience, even if she may slightly like you initially, just going too over the top, or you know, coming off too forward, sort of just ends it. And so I would advise, you know, personally, again, you can still do it at these venues. It's like, screw all these people saying you can't, but don't come off that forward. Again, I don't think a quick joke or a quick smile or something would be too bad, like this guy said. And so again, I agree with that small segment where this guy says, if the situation calls for it, I might make a quick joke or smile. It wouldn't be too bad. Maybe something a little bit more than that, because you know, a quick smile could just not be noticed. Another guy says, probably not. They might think I'm creepy for talking to them while they're all sweaty. Though if a girl approaches a guy, I doubt he'll mind. Yeah. Again, it depends on how confident or how sure you are the person you're approaching will be receptive to it. If you're pretty darn sure, then you know you're pretty on the money, then go for it. Like, I would say that most guys would not mind at all. They probably don't get that a lot. They would definitely love it, in fact, if they got complimented. Just don't go, like, if you're unsure if, like, he'll like it that much, don't go in there expecting him to, like, ask you for your number or anything like that. He might just accept a compliment and move on. He might not be interested to that extent. It really depends on, you know, how attractive you think you are, or how well you think you guys will mesh, and how well the situation will go. Again, the guy versus the girl, it's a different scenario, because depending on the girl, you know, and the guy, she could be harassed a lot. She may not be interested. She may just be there, and you could just tell by looking at her. If she's not making eye contact with anyone, just like really focused, has her headphones in, and you could tell by the body language and stuff. Sometimes you might just want to go for it, because you can misinterpret those situations, and it's really just down to you. Like, are you willing to risk that rejection and embarrassment, and you know, annoying another person for a few seconds, if this is like the love of your life, your potential wife? If it's just something where it's like, okay, she's somewhat attractive, she probably won't end up being my girlfriend or anything, then you know what, if she has that, you know, bitch face on, it's really a toss-up. For me personally, that's how I view it, because I have missed out on a lot of what if, well, I've created a lot of what if scenarios from cowarding myself out. So personally for me, I like to go, you know, a little bit overboard and a little bit underboard, but it depends on your level of comfort and, you know, the level of emotional trauma in your past, I guess you could say. Think about it. Guys are literally overflowing with testosterone in a room of 80% other dudes, so you stand out. So I'd say it's a pretty good place to approach guys. Can't disagree with that. You're there to lift and get swole. You're not there to pick up girls, unless you plan to literally pick up girls off the ground, and that's just creepy. And another guy replies, pretty sure the OP is a chick. Not me, I promise. So, yeah, again, there's like a double standard there with the genders. Guy approaching a girl, it's a lot less socially acceptable in that scenario than the reverse. Why? Because first off, there's like 80% more guys there. Second off, especially if the girl's really attractive, it's just like, you know, it'll just look really bad as the guy, you know, hounding or annoying this girl, if that is the case. So if you're a girl and you're just confused, I would ideally, you know, approach the guy, have some small talk, or if you're really scared, you know, give off some signs that you are interested in approaching. But again, it's really like sometimes the guys are stupid, and no matter what signs you give, they don't know what to do. So sometimes you have to do something verbally or something more verbally. Um, and as for the guy, really just look out for those signs. If they're not the sign, if there's no signs there, flip it back to that what if scenario and how much you think this girl is of importance to you. Um, Another reply: general rule of thumb is to leave the girls alone. Another reply: I do think that some guys won't mind and some guys will. Just say something kind of in passing and see how they respond. Another guy responds: just do it. I like this guy. Another response: isn't the gym supposed to be the one place where you shouldn't have to think / worry about someone hitting on you? I don't know about that. And if you are one of those people, then I don't know what's floating your boat, because like you judging from that question, you like implying that you don't want to be approached at all. And this is a girl responding, and I'm just like, come on, like, are you really to that point where you're constantly harassed all the time? Another response: I have tried to approach a guy there before. This is a girl responding, and they weren't really interested in chatting. They were pretty focused on their workout. And yeah, that can happen. Guys and girls alike. It does happen. Rejections do happen just by probability chance. So that's more of a generalized thing, but like you're not going to get 100% acceptance all the time. Another response: I feel like everyone's opinion will be different. A quick compliment is probably your safest bet. Shows interest, but it isn't a long interruption. I see you a lot at the gym all the time when I'm all around campus, and every time I think to myself, why don't they just say hi? But I know not everyone is comfortable striking up conversation. Some people look a little tense while they're working out. Okay, girl, the reason why they don't just say hi is because that is creepy as heck. I've tried it out myself. I see you around sometimes is also pretty creepy. The best one out of those three is I see you sometimes at the gym when I'm working out. Like, if you just say hi, like, I know what you're trying to imply, but that's not the best advice. You don't just go up to a girl and just say hi and then just silence. I've done that. It's creepy as heck. Sure, you can try and transition, but even if you did, like, if you just went up to a girl and said hi and then just started talking about some random stuff or asking questions like, oh, what are you studying here? Blah, blah, blah. It's just creepy. It's like, who the heck are you? What, like, sure, you're a student here. We're connected through school, but like, you just randomly come up to me and say that sort of stuff. It'll come off creepy. Like, no matter how you play it, from experience, the girl will decide it's creepy. It's not that you decide it's creepy, no matter how comfortable or cool you look. So, unfortunately, sometimes girls try and give advice. It ends up just shooting you in the foot. So that's that. That's all I want to say. Another response: if guys are working out, then don't approach us. If they are just standing there with their thumbs up, their asses and not working, go for it. I like to disagree with this one because sometimes guys will go from set to set to set, and there will be no pause time between it. And it's not that they don't want to be approached. At least for me personally, it's just that I just look weird just standing there, and sometimes I'm there to get a workout, and you can't rest in between because it affects the exercise. I would love to be approached by girls, but I'm not just going to stand there awkwardly at the gym for like 20 minutes or even like 5 minutes in between or 2 minutes. And by the way, just judging off these profile pictures, like, I don't know if many of these dudes even go to the gym pretty often. No offense, but they don't look like the people to go to the gym. Okay, another response from another guy. As a guy, I never approach a girl in the weight room because I'm focused on my workout. and feel random talking to someone in the middle of a lecture. There's nothing wrong with being friendly though, just make sure to do it in between sets or something. I agree with the last part of that. There's nothing wrong with, something in between sets being friendly. Final response is from a girl. I wouldn't just mind because they're there to work out. Okay, same thing. That pretty much wraps it up, and I pretty much expressed my full opinions on the topic again. There's that thing with the whole venues thing, not just the gyms, that whole dilemma. But I think it's possible, but not always socially acceptable. Again, like a lot of these venues, you're either there with your friends or buddies. And what does that say if you approach a girl when she's with her group of friends? Like sometimes you'll work out, the friends will be receptive and so forth. But like it's very weird unless you come off indirectly in some sort of friendly, non too forward way. Like, oh yeah, we went to class together. But what if you have no classes together or something like that? And there's nothing you can really comment on without coming across too forward. Like, oh yeah, I love your yoga pants, or oh yeah, I love your hair, or I thought you were attractive. It's just too much, and a lot of social scenarios don't allow that. And so again, it just brings back that theory that one of the best ways is just to expand your social circle and make more friends. But that's not always the best case for every individual out there. That's all I want to say. As always, share this video with someone you think would be interested in it or may benefit from it. And as always, like, favorite, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.